Hi folks, so the questions we're going to be going over today guys comes under the topic of rotation of objects, and this is in the Understanding Graphics textbook page 228 chapter 23. As you can see here guys, we have an object here, okay, we got this kind of like flag here, and basically what we're going to be doing is, in the question it's often going to say something, the figure shown shows the elevation and plan of direction sign. So we can see here the direction sign pointing to the right, the sign is pointing in an easterly direction, so easterly direction. Part A, draw the given elevation, so you can see the elevation here, and then on the same XY line, draw the elevation when the flag is pointing in a southwesterly direction as indicated by the dotted line in plan. So you can see here we have the elevation, we have the plan view of the elevation, and the reason the plan view is only a line is because technically it's like it's a flag. So that's the front face of the flag, but if we're to look straight down on top of the flag, we'd see the flag as an edge, we'd see it as a line. And basically what we're trying to do is we're trying to rotate what that flag will look like when we're looking still straight in this direction, but in a southwesterly direction. And as you can see here, essentially what happens here is the flag is rotated, so the points are projected down here onto the plan view, and in the plan view they are rotated around until we find them in this southwesterly direction. And then from where it's positioned in the southwesterly direction is, we are going to project them up to our new elevation up here. And this is what it would appear like in a southwesterly direction when we look at it straight on. Okay, so you can see here from this side it's like it's been shortened. Okay, even though in reality it's the exact same length, only that's our image of it when it's in a southwesterly direction. So in this question, this is the first question we're doing today. We'll be doing two questions in this video. We're starting with this one and we will be doing this one here afterwards. Okay, so just starting with this one, we can see here it says the figure below shows the elevation and plan of a sign for a golf course. The sign is pointing in an easterly direction once again. Okay, draw the given elevation, and then on the same XY line draw the elevation when the flag is pointing in a southwesterly direction as indicated by the dotted line. So we can see here the measurements for our object, okay, of our flag, and obviously as a pole, and then obviously the flag is there, and our plan view of it as we would see it when we're looking straight down on top of that is once again a line from here up to here, and obviously this point matches up with this. And what we have to do is we have to rotate it until it's going in a southwesterly direction and get the elevation view of that flag when it's pointing in that southwesterly direction. So simple as the title suggests, rotation of objects. Okay, so we'll start with that one there now. So as you can see guys, I have already prepared my elevation view here. I'll just bring this up here so you can see it fully. I've already prepared the elevation view and I have it completed, and now what I'm just going to do is I'm going to heavy in my XY line. Okay, so I'll heavy in my XY line and put it in here like that. Now for the sake of this, what we are going to be doing is we are going to be rotating the object about this point here. It's right on the XY line, okay? And you can do that because if we imagine this flag was pressed up against the vertical plane, well then the image of our flag when we look down top of it is from here to here, okay? I could very easily have drawn my flag down here like that and then rotated it about here, okay, but it was just easier to keep it on the XY line. So starting here, what we're going to do is we're first of all going to get the image of this flag, okay, without the detail on the inside, without the easterly arrow, and without obviously the golf course sign here, okay, for the flagpole. So starting off the flag, I'm actually going to label it, and I have this point and we have this edge already, but for the sake of it I'll label this and I'm going to call it A, B, C, D and E. Okay, now technically A and B, which are here, are still here because they don't rotate, so it's just going to be facing that way, but we want to find C, D and E. So what we're going to simply do for C, D and E is, for C and D, because they're on the same line, mark them down, project them down, and the same with D, which is already down there. And what I'm going to do then is, using my compass, I will take the distance, this is my center point, take the distance for C and E, and with my line projected down already in a southwesterly direction, I'm going to rotate that around. Now it might have gone out of camera shot there a little bit, but essentially C and D have rotated around until it comes down here and it hits the flag when it is in a southwesterly direction. Okay, so what's important to also note is technically that is the flag when it's in a southwesterly direction, so it's also a heavy line, and then I'll do the exact same for point D. So once again, this might go out of shot a little bit, hopefully comes back up. There we go, and probably just out a little bit, so just adjust that there. Quite a big drawing. So there we have it. Okay. So we can see here, and that is the position of the end of our flag. So that's as far as I would actually heavy in my new plan view. Technically that's the flag when it is pointing in a southwesterly direction as far as here. So that point there is E, and here we have D, or sorry, that is actually D, apologies, and here we have C and D. So I put in E there and C, so apologies for that. So that one there was our D. Let's go over that with a marker, stand out a bit better, and then we have E and C there. So at this point now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to project them up to my elevation view. Let's get a different set screw there. So E and C will be somewhere up along that line, and then the same with D. And where they are up along that line is dictated by the height that they are here in our elevation, so they have to share the same height. So I'll transfer this across, and that will give me E. This one will give me C, and then D comes all the way across here. And literally, once again, label them. So E is here, and this would be C, and then this is D. So A, B, C, D, E. Okay, E back to A, and at that point then I will heavy in my flag. So heavy in this portion, and last time when I was actually drawing this worked out at 45 degrees. However, this time it won't, because it is like the flag has been foreshortened, even though in reality it's still the exact same. It's just we're seeing it at a 45 degree angle when we're looking straight at it. Sorry, the southwesterly direction. Now, next part is we actually have to get the detail inside here. So I did A, B, C, D, E. So now I'm going to actually locate these. So I'm going to look for the points. So we actually have a triangle with a line. So I'll say, continue on. I'm going to say F, G, H, and I. Okay, so I want to find those points once again. On the rotation, so all of these are actually on the same line, F, G, and H. So project them down, and I'll do the same with I. And having done that, I am now going to rotate them around. So center point into here. You don't have to always rotate the whole arc. You could just take the distance and then mark it over here. But I just find sometimes if there's a lot of lines, it's probably a little bit easier, so you have a guide. And from there then, project them up. So somewhere up along there is F, G, and H. And somewhere up along here is going to be my I. Probably have to bring that a little touch further. There we have it. And same thing, to find F, to find G, to find H, and to find I. There we have it. Once again, heavy into detail. And while I'm at it, label again, so F, G, H, I. Okay, now finally we're on to this last little bit of a portion in here, okay, this little arrow. So I'll continue on with letters, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, so J, K, L, M, N, O. So J, K, L, M, N, and then O. And luckily we have K and M already projected down. It's on this one, so I just need, and also O as well, sorry. So I'll bring down J and N. Oops, sorry, wrong pen, apologies for that. And then C. So they're the last two I actually have to rotate around. So once again, grab your compass and starting here, I'm going to rotate that the whole way, and then the exact same with this guy. There we have it. And once again, project them up, because this is their position in our new plan view, and we want to find them in our new elevation. So there you have it. And once again, project these the whole way across. Now I'm going to need them, and this the whole way across, and I will need them as well. And we have them points, yeah. So it's literally a case then of locating our points. So J and N, follow them up. So we want to find them here. So there is, follow them around. There's our N. J is up here, and by process of elimination I assume that's K, but we'll just follow it around just to be sure. Yeah. So JK, and then this will be L here, and then this will be M, and then finally we just have to find O, which is on the same line as M and K. So there's our O there, just to be sure. So there's our O, and once again, heavy into detail. And that should see us through on this question. So there you have it, guys. That is, I'll just pull that down a little bit so we can see it fully there. That is the rotation question there, guys, on the little golf logo. Now, as you can see, obviously with all the lettering and the labelling, okay, it does probably make it a little bit less tidy. For a question like this, you probably get away without doing the labels, okay. When the questions become a little bit maybe more complex, you might have to use labels on some parts, okay. But that is literally the first rotation question, where we projected them down to our XY line, rotated around until they hit our flag in its new position here, okay, at a southwesterly angle, and then we found the southwesterly angle in our elevation view. Okay, that is the first question done there, guys. Now what we're going to do is we are going to move on to the road sign, which is kind of a pointing left logo. Okay. Right, folks, so the next question on this page, we can see it says the figure shows the elevation and plan of a road sign. The sign is pointing in a westerly direction, so it's pointing to the left. Draw the given elevation, which has already previously been drawn, and then on the same XY line, draw the elevation when the flag is pointing in a southeasterly direction. Okay, so we can see here, guys, that we have the XY line where the flag is sitting on, okay, and we have the elevation view drawn up here, okay, and then we can actually see the image of the flag. So here's our XY line, and we can see the image of the flag when it is below the XY line. Okay, it is below the XY line, and we'd see that as a line. And what we want to do is, it's like the wind has come along and it has blown it, and it's blowing it in a southeasterly direction, okay? And that's the image of the flag we have to get, and we want to see the new elevation over here, okay? So once again, guys, this time just for the purpose of fitting it neatly on my sheet, okay? What I've actually done is I've taken the image of the XY line, this line here, okay, which is of the flag in the plan view. I have put it directly on the XY line, okay, which is absolutely fine to do. And what I'm going to do then is basically it saves me actually taking a distance down here, and it makes it fit on the page, okay. So that's the only difference, okay. I've kept this distance, I haven't put it in, and this flag, when it is pointing in a westerly direction, I've just put it on the XY line, okay. So, starting off that question there, guys, you can see here, because obviously it has to fit on the page, you can see I've kept it quite high up on the page. And what I'm going to do now is I have rotated, starting off, okay, I have drawn the flag as it appears on the XY line right here in this direction, and I've also put in my 45-degree line down here, and I'll just pull it down the sheet. And as you can see there, I have already rotated distance of the flag all the way around until it hits over here, okay. So at that point right there, I might as well transfer, because it does take up. I've done this in landscape. You probably would be able, it probably would have been easier to do it in portrait, but haven't done it in landscape. I'll continue on. So I'm projecting that up, just making sure that I'm set up correctly there. Yeah, happy with that. So as you can see there, that is the distance of my flag when it is pointing in a southeasterly direction now. Okay, having transferred that up, I'll just set this up properly now so you know where that came from. Okay, I can now find the image of that road sign, keep saying flag, road sign, when it is pointing in a southeasterly direction. This is how it would appear in our elevation. So having got the main portion, that in there, having got the main portion of that road sign, okay, obviously the box that it's going to fit in, what I want to do now is I want to find what this arrow will appear as. So save me a bit of time, I'm going to transfer down, and I'm not going to use point location, or sorry, not point location, but I'm not going to use labels this time. So I've got a point here and a point here, I have a point here and a point here, which I'm transferring down to my XY line. I've also got 4 points on this one, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Transfer these down, and then very simple on the last one then I'll transfer the tip of the arrow down. Okay, so you can see there I've transferred here, here, here and here. Okay, and that actually takes me with all of the points then on the arrow. Okay, at that point, bit of time saving now, I'm going to transfer each of these one by one, have them all done at once. Okay, rather than doing them respectively, do them all at once. So there's that first one, which is for the point of the arrow. Now I'm getting these 4 points, finding where they are when the flag is pointing in a southeasterly direction. And as you can see, it's kind of coming in down here. Now I've got 2 more. This guy here, and finally this guy here. Now the good thing about these questions, guys, is if you have a good understanding of orthographic projection, that's basically what these questions are, okay? They are rotations, but if you have a good understanding of orthographic projection, at the end of the day, this is an elevation, and this is literally another elevation. It's just been blown at an angle of a southeasterly direction, okay? But it's literally just rotating our points around, okay? So this is essentially an element of orthographic projection. So, starting off, I'm going to build up this guy here. So I'm going to project this up here and make sure it's accurate. T-square set properly. So there we have it. There's that one. Check this guy up. And then this fella. Just make sure I can go far enough. So I think he'll have to go just a touch further. And then finally this guy here comes from the bottom. This is for the tip, and there we have it. And now to find the arrow, and the only thing is it's kind of going to be flipped over, so it's like axial symmetry, okay, but not exactly, because it's not the exact image. So these guys, transfer them out there and there to here, this guy out to here, this guy out to here, and then finally the tip is going to go all the way out to the end. So literally just going to plot my points. So I know I have a point here, I know I have a point here. If you think this distance in, this distance, okay, there's a gap, then I'm up to this point, then from here it goes into this guy, up to here, down to here, 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 and back in. Okay, so it's literally a case then of heavying in that. So I'm going to heavy in all my vertical lines, then I'll do my horizontal ones. So heavy to there, put in my horizontal lines, and then this portion here. And now we can see that it's pointing easterly, but technically southeasterly. Okay, So that's the image of the flag, guys, when it has been rotated around in a southeasterly direction. Plan view of the flag here. As I said, I did put it on the XY line. I'm imagining that it was pressed up against the wall on the vertical plane. And basically what's happened is wind has come along and blown it around, and now we have it in a southeasterly direction. And obviously plan view, still we see it as a line, whereas the elevation view here, we can obviously see the face of it, but obviously it's kind of a squished version. Okay, hope you found those two questions helpful, guys. That's just an introduction there on rotation of objects. Okay.